Welcome to Fall Summit, a story-based podcast about tales, trails, and epic fails. I'm Octavia.
And I'm Em. Last time I checked. For those of you just joining, we're going to bring you 2 stories and our thoughts on the tales. Ending with Trail Mix, where I will bring you 3 songs, then trail etiquette, and other shit. By you.
By me. Yay. How you doing today, Em?
I'm doing well. Weather segment, let's get this out of the way.
Okay.
It's a beautiful day. There's not a cloud in the sky.
There's not. It's brisk though. It's not hot yet. Or warm yet.
But it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's colder inside than it is outside.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm freezing right now in a sweatshirt.
You're such a baby.
Yeah. I put socks on. You know it's bad when I put socks on.
Oh, God.
I know. But it's been really nice lately, weather-wise, in terms of like lots of sun. Yesterday it was hot.
Yeah, yesterday was comfortable.
No, it was hot.
It wasn't hot.
I went out on the porch and I did not have shoes or socks on, and my feetsies were burning.
Oh, you're so precious.
I know. Aw, so cute.
On other news, I just got back from DC. That was fun.
How are you feeling?
I'm good.
In other news?
In other news, I just got back from DC, which was a nice break from mundane.
Did you go to the Holocaust Museum?
I did. We went to the Holocaust Museum.
What do you think?
I've seen it before, but Adriana had not seen it yet. And I went with her and my mom, so it was the generational trio.
Did she have any questions?
She did it, but she was super attentive. She was very focused, very her energy was like appropriate for the space that we were in. And, I mean,
she has probably not been taught that in school yet. She's a little, I don't think we were taught that until like 5th or 6th grade.
No, but I've told her about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after the whole, the whole arm swing on national TV by you know who.
Do you mean that our government is run by a party of Nazis?
What was the reel that I sent you? Third Reich. It's not funny, but it's funny.
It's really scary, actually.
It's really scary.
I'm glad that people are finding humorous ways to either lighten the situation or make fun of the people that need making fun of, because it's just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, that really brings up a point, actually. When we were at the Holocaust Museum, there was this room that had recordings of survivors.
Yeah.
And this one survivor, he was saying how, they were in the concentration camp. But him and other people, in order to like keep up morale, would like make jokes, do skits, sing music, just to, so that the people around him wouldn't lose hope.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to like slavery also. It's like they were still making music. They were still, trying to find moments of lightness in this really awful, disparaging environment.
Yeah, and now we do it by making reels, apparently. And scrolling, doom scrolling. Oh, but
glad you had a good time.
We had a good time. Yeah. We went to this restaurant that I've been before, and it was absolutely delicious. Hummus and was amazing.
I want to go
there. Yeah. You should, when we go, if you come with us next time, we're gonna definitely go there. It was Turkish, Lebanese, and
what's Lebanese?
Lebanese.
Oh, okay. Let's just check.
Let's not say Lesbanese. That's a different kind of cuisine. It's strictly seafood. What was I gonna say though? It was Turkish, Lebanese, and Greek.
That sounds interesting.
It was delicious. I had grilled octopus. It was yummy.
It's interesting also.
Grilled octopus is really good. I don't like it when it's boiled. That's not my.
I thought that when you grill it, it gets really chewy.
No, I mean, if you do it incorrectly, it can be chewy either way. No, it's really tender.
Are the suction cups still in it?
Yeah.
You ate suction cups.
Yep. I'm a suction cup eater. Typical.
Oh. Did Adriana try some octopus?
No, she had French
Pita bread.
fries.
Yeah.
They didn't have pita bread. They had these other kinds of bread, the flatbread things. And we went to the Smithsonian.
Uh-huh.
We went to the mall and saw, I kept saying this to my mom, and she kept getting
Annoyed.
flustered. I know. I'm like, are we gonna go see the big guy in the chair, the little pond, and the big tall thing sticking up in the sky today? Which are, the Washington Monument, the Reflection Pond, and the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh my God. I can see why she might
Yeah, I'm
feel
annoying. But
extra.
but we took scooters all around this wherever we went.
You would.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It wasn't even my idea.
Yeah.
It was my mom's idea.
Yeah.
And then once it started, it was like that was it. We just took them everywhere. And apparently you're supposed to be 18 to use them, but that's not a hard and fast rule, I guess. But Adriana was like, you have to be 18. And my mom was like, it's fine. Adriana's the one that like follows the rules.
How did she know that?
It said it on the sign.
Oh.
Yeah. She's always paying attention.
Did anyone hurt themselves?
No, but she picked it up real quick.
Did
And
she
it was fun.
stop when she was supposed to stop and look both ways before crossing?
Oh yeah. And we did it kind of like my mom would be in the front and I was in the back. It was kind of like when we went to France actually. My mom did the navigating, Audrina kept time. And this time I didn't have a donkey, so I just got to hang out.
You're thinking about food.
Oh,
Yours
yeah.
was
Whole
food.
time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm sorry
glad
you
you had a
couldn't.
good time.
Thank you. I'm sorry you couldn't come. I know you had to work, so
I did.
that was sucky. But next time.
Maybe.
But you're gonna come with us to Ireland, so.
Yep. Looking forward.
I know you are. I can't wait. Me neither. I'm looking forward to the Guinness brewery. I want to visit the Guinness brewery. It's like a really crazy looking building on the top of another building.
Uh-huh.
It looks like a spaceship landed on a building. It's
Mhm.
wild looking. And I want to see castles that are falling apart.
Ruins.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Anything you want to add to the conversation?
Just that I'm obsessed with Pedro Pascal.
Is it a liquor?
Oh my gosh.
What?
It's an actor. He's an actor.
What does he do?
He's been in lots of stuff.
But I know him.
Yes, you would know.
You know that I can't do names. I like the faces and what I might recognize them. I don't recognize people that well, especially their names.
Been in Fantastic Four, Narcos, Game of Thrones.
There's been so many other people in this.
Wonder Woman, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Which one? The first one?
The original.
Well, is he older?
He's
'Cause
middle aged. The
that movie is
Mentalist.
from the
The
90s.
Mentalist.
No.
You watched that show.
Is he older guy? Like in his 50s or 60s?
I don't know how old he is. I would say probably 50.
Oh. He was not in Buffy.
Yes, he was.
What did he play? Buffy from the 90s, yeah?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's him?
Yeah.
That's hysterical. And that's not the original. That's the show.
What do you mean? That's the one from the 90s.
But this is the show. I'm talking about the original, the movie.
Oh. I thought you meant
the classic.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was that.
You didn't know there was a movie called Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No.
That's literally what the spinoff of the show is.
Okay, anyway, the show.
No, wait. The movie is so good. Now we have to watch it.
No, I have to watch it.
It's one of my favorites.
But I've never seen the show either.
Have you at least seen Charmed?
No.
Oh my God. I can't.
Yes, I've seen Charmed.
Okay, thank God. Every episode more than once?
No.
Damn.
I just did it for the good looking people.
Oh, Phoebe.
You're the only one obsessed with Phoebe.
Wait, what's her? Alyssa Milano?
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah. But we watched her recently.
She's still good.
She's all right.
I think she's so good. Oh yeah, she was in that. She was playing a gangster.
She's generically pretty.
Yeah.
I don't think she's interesting looking.
No, she's not usually my type. My usual type.
I would think if we're doing that here, I think Winona Ryder is a lot less classically beautiful, but unique.
Yeah,
So it
okay.
makes it interesting.
Okay, sure. Get it for Renona.
I do not. Okay. Anyway, Pedro Pascal, back to Pedro
All right,
Pascal.
what do you want to tell me about him?
Is like all in on the transgender rights allyship.
Oh, yeah. Is he the one with the sister?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is he the one with the sister?
with the sister that he pulled the dress out for.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw the picture.
Yes. But he to the premiere of the new Marvel movie Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
He wore a Protect the Dolls t-shirt.
Oh.
Which is a campaign by a designer, Connor Ives. And the proceeds benefit Trans Lifeline.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, he's just very visible about his support
Oh, that's amazing.
of transgender rights.
Wow, that's awesome. Good for him.
Yep. Anyway, do you want to get into the stories?
Shirley Durley, you're doing the first one.
Okay. Okay, first one's called Goodbye, Happy Hiking. Okay, let's get into it. Ready?
Yes.
It was the kind of Tuesday where the woods feel like they belong to you alone. My partner and I were hiking one of those sprawling, silent trails that seems to stretch just slightly beyond the edge of the map. The season hadn't quite started, and the only thing more remote than the trailhead was the idea of running into another human. It felt perfect. Solitude, forest, crisp air, and the occasional hum of a distant raven. Hours in, as we rounded a bend thick with moss and stillness, we saw them. An older man with wild eyes and a slow, thoughtful pace, and a younger woman with quiet energy, both stepping out from the forest like they'd been waiting for us. The man was Argentinian, charming in that eccentric traveler kind of way. His partner, Japanese, kept mostly to herself, though not in a rude way, more like she was watching and listening. Their presence was odd, but not threatening, and somehow we hit it off immediately. The man and I fell into easy conversation, spinning from topic to topic: sustainability, capitalism, spiritual ecology, nomadic living. It felt like talking with a prophet who'd also been a barista in Portland for 5 years. Meanwhile, I didn't really notice my partner hadn't said a single word to them. Eventually, the trail forked, and it was time to part ways. We exchanged the standard hiker's farewell. Goodbye, happy hiking. But then the man paused. Would you like to come to an art show on Friday, he asked. I said sure, that we'd love to. He hesitated again. Then, are you interested in humans traveling to other dimensions? Now, I'm not a stranger to a bit of woo. I get my share of sound baths, crystals, and reading about DMT elves. So I told him, sure, yeah, why not? He reached into his backpack and pulled out a thick, stapled booklet. The paper was already worn from being lugged around in the wilderness. Take this and read it, he said. If you like what you read, I'll give you more at the art show. Cool, thanks, I said, looking forward to it. We waved goodbye, and my partner and I continued alone down the trail. That's when she spoke. You should not have taken that. I laughed, thinking she was joking. Why not? I really didn't like him, she said. Her tone was dead serious. We agreed to disagree. Back at our Airbnb, we lit a fire in the pit out back and cracked open a couple of drinks. The art show was tomorrow, so I figured it was time to see what our friendly Argentinian forest philosopher was so eager to share. I flipped open the booklet, and my blood ran cold. It started as a list. 100+ rules for humanity, supposedly dictated by some alien consciousness overseeing our race. At first, it read like someone took a few mushrooms too many and tried to rewrite the Celestine prophecy. But then it got darker. Way darker. The rules were nonsensical at best and chilling at worst. It claimed that Christianity, Judaism, and Islam were all essentially correct, but with the twist that they were seeded by interdimensional beings. Okay, weird, but fine. Then it mentioned portal gates and higher frequency awakenings. Then mass ultimate sacrifices by groups of followers, necessary apparently to open said portals. Then there were instructions about opening bank accounts in a cult leader's name. Every red flag in the cult handbook was there: financial control, spiritual manipulation, collective suicide pacts. It was like a greatest hits of horror disguised as enlightenment. But the worst part was the very end. It was a different section entirely. An instruction manual. Not for me, but for him, for the distributor. It was a checklist, a list of all the information he was supposed to gather on the people he gave the booklet to: my name, where I live, what I do for work, my age, my interests. All information I'd given him freely while strolling through the forest, thinking I was having a friendly chat with a wise traveler. My stomach dropped. I suddenly felt sick, cold, watched. Needless to say, we did not go to the art show. I wanted to keep the booklet, maybe even report it. But in that moment, sitting by the fire, under a sky that suddenly didn't feel so comforting, there was only one thing I could do. I fed it to the flames. Page by page. It felt like the only way to cut the cord. We left the next morning. I still think about them sometimes, those two figures emerging from the trees, like characters from a dream that shifted fast into a nightmare. I wonder how many others they've handed booklets to. I wonder who did go to the art show. And I wonder how much information they really got from me.
Ooh, goosebumps.
That's
Oh,
scary.
I've never been in,
That's not the type of prophet I would be.
no, I've been in a cult or been tempted into a cult.
Yeah, you were.
What?
You did like some of those pyramid schemes.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you were selling like the vitamins. That's a pyramid
I
scheme.
never sold any vitamins.
Didn't you?
I took them. I just took the vitamins. No,
I thought you
I
sold.
used to buy from Advocare, which was a low-key pyramid thing
Uh-huh.
apparently, but they got caught and they reconfigured their operation. Their supplements are still good. They just, their business practice wasn't so great. And so now you can still buy their product though. But no, other than that,
Uh-huh.
I've never been in a cult. How about you?
Just bread alone.
Okay. Has anybody ever tried to get you into a cult? Have you ever been approached by a cultist?
I don't think so.
But you knew somebody that grew up in a cult.
I did, yeah. The
Did he,
Moonies.
the Moonies. Yeah, did he ever tell you anything about how it was growing up in a cult?
Um, no, because I think pretty soon after he was born, um, I'm pretty sure they got out of it.
Oh, so he was a kid so he didn't grow up. He just was born
Born
into.
into, yeah, as a product of.
Yeah. I don't know. I watch a lot of those cult documentaries. Some of them sound great at first.
Yeah, a lot of them sound great at first. There's a good idea there, like or like a spirituality practice, or like transformation of some kind, or self guidance, self help.
Well, the psychopath uses those things to attract people.
Sometimes, but I think sometimes a
Because
cult leader can start off with good intentions and then feel the effects of power.
power is a dangerous thing.
Yeah,
These two didn't get fooled by the allure of opening a portal dimension and sacrificing themselves in a
yeah.
group setting.
And it doesn't sound like he was the leader of this cult.
No.
He was just
Yeah.
a pamphlet distributor.
Yeah, he was a pusher.
Yeah. Jehovah's Witness, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard that
That's a cult.
it's hard. I mean, it's hard because there's a line between organized belief and cultism,
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
So,
That's a very thin line, I
it's a
think.
thin line. You're right. I think it has a lot to do with the power that if in the wrong hands can be abused. Um, but it takes a special kind of person to be that horrific.
Yeah.
To be able to murder what's the one where everybody drank the jungle juice?
Um, Jim,
I'm gonna look
Jim
it
Jones.
Is it Jim Jones?
Uh,
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
yeah, there's been many ones.
that's psychotic.
Also, like, maybe they actually started to believe it at a certain point. Like, maybe they've talked themselves into it so much that they think that.
Yeah, does that make it better? That they also believe it?
Yes, I think so.
Also, I think with Jim Jones, they were coming down on him. They were like closing in, and so it was like a panic button.
Yeah.
I mean, the same going back to the Holocaust Museum. It was the same with Hitler. He felt the walls closing in, and so he committed suicide because he didn't want to be caught. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Did you ever hear about the fake army tactic by Sir Churchill? Fake army?
Winston Churchill?
Winston Churchill. Have you ever heard of the fake army tactic that he used in World War II, Winston Churchill?
I don't think so.
No? My mom never heard of it either.
I need to look something up?
Yeah, go look it up.
Operation Fortitude. Part of a larger deception strategy called Operation Bodyguard, used by the Allies during World War II. It was designed to mislead the Germans about the location of the D-Day invasion. Winston Churchill was a huge proponent of deception and warfare. He once said, "In wartime, truth is so precious that you should always be attended by a bodyguard of lies."
He's a genius.
They created a completely fake army led by General George S. Patton, whom the Germans feared and respected. It was stationed in southeast England across blah blah blah, which made it seem like that was the planned invasion site. They used inflatable tanks, wooden planes, and dummy landing craft. Think of it as Hollywood meets war strategy. They built fake military hardware to look like a real invasion force. From the air, it looked totally legit. They faked radio traffic.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, hold on. I'm not done here. This is crazy. They generated massive amounts of fake radio communication to stimulate the logistics of a real army. German intelligence picked up the chatter and brought it into the ruse. Double agents fed false intel. British intelligence turned several German spies into double agents. One of the most important was Juan Garcia, aka Agent Garbo, who fed the Nazis detailed but completely fabricated information that reinforced the existence of this group. The result, the Germans were so convinced they kept major troops stationed, even after D-Day, expecting a real invasion. This deception helped the real invasion at Normandy succeed, with fewer losses than expected. So yeah, Churchill and the Allies basically catfished Hitler with an entire fake army, and it worked.
That was one of the catalysts that won us the war.
Yeah. That was
Wild.
that was also very interesting, Tave.
You're
But
welcome.
very random.
Your random facts section.
Okay.
All right, you ready for story number
Yep,
2?
on that note.
On that note.
Go ahead.
Echoes on the Stairwell. It was my first time abroad alone. I was trying to play it cool, but my nerves hadn't gotten the memo. A solo hike in the UK sounded romantic in theory. In practice, it was a blend of liberating and unsettling. I'm from the US, a place where you learn to keep your head on a swivel. You don't leave your backpack unattended, and you certainly don't forget that people can and will follow you for the wrong reasons. So, yeah, when I booked a multi day hike through the British countryside, I knew I'd be testing more than just my legs. I chose spring, hoping for wildflowers and mild weather. And while I got both, I also got eerie solitude. Most days, the trail felt like mine alone. The kind of silence where your own breathing sounds intrusive. Early on, I chatted with a friendly couple during a break. But otherwise, it was just me, my pack, and the sheep dotting the hills like lazy sentries. One of the final days, I stumbled across a historic stone fort, a withered relic from some long-forgotten battle. It was open to the public and empty, sitting like a forgotten monument on a windswept hill. I was exhausted but intrigued. There was a narrow spiral staircase that wound its way up to a lookout tower, and I couldn't resist the urge to climb it. Here's the thing. I'm from a place where you don't take chances with your stuff. You don't leave it lying around, even in a place that feels safe,
Quote unquote.
quote unquote. So I hoisted my overstuffed pack onto my back, gritted my teeth, and began hauling myself up those ancient stone steps, one creaky spiral at a time. About halfway up, I heard it, the thud of boots behind me. Heavy, close, getting closer. I froze for half a second. Not footsteps coming down, up, toward me. The staircase was too narrow to turn around, and with the weight of my pack, I couldn't move quickly. My heart rate skyrocketed. My heart rate skyrocketed. My brain started running damage assessments. How visible had I been online? I'd been posting daily updates on Instagram, where I stayed, my route, my next stop. It had felt harmless. But now, I practically launched myself up the last few steps, breath burning in my chest, and pressed against the wall at the top. I wanted to see who, what, was coming before they saw me. And then he appeared. An older man, maybe mid 60s, but built like someone who had never stopped moving. Clean cut, weathered face, piercing blue eyes. Not what I expected, but that didn't ease the tension. I slapped on a friendly smile and said, "Hey there," while mentally sizing him up. And then he said, "You must be insert my own name from insert my hometown." My blood went cold. How the hell did he know that? My thoughts raced. I've been sharing too much. I should have kept the post vague. I should have locked down my account. This guy's been following me. Jesus, what if he's been watching since the first town? And then he smiled. "You met my wife a few days ago. She told me about your chat. Said you were hiking solo from the States. Figured it had to be you when I saw you heading up the tower." My brain needed a minute to reset. Oh, right. That sweet older woman I'd met on day 2 who gave me tips about an alternate route and asked me where I was from. She must have mentioned me to her husband when they crossed paths again. The man wasn't a stalker. He was just a dad type doing the same trail. My paranoia. My paranoia had filled in the rest. I felt like an idiot, but also a little justified. We chatted for a few minutes at the top of the tower. He gave me some good trail advice and even offered a snack from his over-prepared hiker stash. Then he went on his way, and I went on mine, still a little shaky, but also laughing at myself. Since then, I've gone back to the UK every year, 4 trails, 4 very different adventures. I haven't run into anything remotely as unnerving as that moment on the stairs. And honestly, I've never felt as unsafe on those trails as I do walking through certain parts of my hometown. Back home, it's normal to hear about someone getting mugged or worse. We talk about mass shootings the way Brits talk about the weather. I'm used to people on the edge, strung out, unpredictable, and sometimes dangerous. But out there, on those quiet British footpaths, the scariest thing I've encountered is my own overactive imagination. Funny how real peace can make you realize just how much chaos you've normalized.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah, I think that's true. I feel like we kind of normalize chaos in our world as well.
We have to.
I mean,
There's
yeah.
no other option
Once,
to survive.
once you see one tragedy and then you see another tragedy and then you see another and it just kind of stockpiles.
But that's also how people get in trouble because we need more people to actually give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And keep reminding us that this isn't or shouldn't be normal.
Right.
Um, I really liked that story because a lot of the stories that we have with like encounters in the wilderness are like creepy or wild. And this was kind of like it could have, but it's not, it's like, oh, it's just a friendly human.
Right.
It's just a nice person that my wild imagination thought that it was going to be this whole big thing. And I just appreciated that. And I wanted to give a little bit of a lightness to our 2 stories today because the first one was about cults and like cult leaders and you know portals to another world.
Yeah, another dimension. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I like that story too. It was a
yeah,
good choice.
it was a good
Good
choice.
follow up.
Thank you. Um, I want to go to a castle though.
I want to see castles too.
Yeah.
We're going to be when we go to Ireland. So your wish shall come true.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, who knows? But if nobody else wants to go see castles,
Who who would not want to go see castles?
I don't know.
Everyone wants to go see castles.
Yeah, I want to see ones that are falling apart.
Okay. Maybe you can paint one while you're there.
Oh yeah, I should bring like a mini painting thingy.
What's a mini painting thingy?
Like a mini painting book.
What's a mini painting book?
It's like little. And
Oh,
like mini paints, like watercolor.
okay. I think
That
you
would
should.
be, I think I will do that. I think I'll do that for sure.
Don't you normally do that?
Yeah. Yep. But we're packing minimal, so there's gonna be like washers and dryers and stuff in Ireland. We're packing light. One bag.
That's smart.
Yeah. No check-in. No, none of that.
What if I want to do checking?
You can pay for it
Oh, okay.
and wait for it.
Awesome.
Yeah. To come out of the little conveyor belt thingy.
That is so annoying. It takes forever.
I know. That's why I don't like checking bags. Who wants to check bags?
Not me now.
Ah,
You've changed my opinion.
thank you.
You're
Oh, you
welcome.
want to do trail mix?
I do.
Great.
Okay. First on the list is Cruise by Roya. I first discovered the song on TikTok and I was blown away. It was like her doing the vocals, and her bandmate doing the like backing, what do you call it? Like the synth beats, like the
Yeah.
beats.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was real time and it was really good. And it was just like I want to be driving while listening to the song. But then I looked it up on Spotify and it was already out. So
Oh,
I got
wow.
to listen to it full version,
Oh,
which
wow.
was exciting.
Okay.
Anyway, this track is the musical equivalent of Golden Hour Through Your Windshield. Roya gives us hazy synths, gliding beats, and that I'm in a movie and I just made a life changing decision energy. It's low key but cinematic, like you're coasting down a scenic overlook with nowhere to be, but everywhere to go. It's called Cruise, but emotionally, it's more like I'm driving away from the version of myself that cared too much. Windows down, let's go. Trail vibe, coastal ridgeline trail at sunset. You forget your worries back at mile 2. Number 2 is In Camera by Yumi Zoima. Yumi Zoima always brings a delicate dream pop shimmer, but In Camera is extra lush. It's nostalgia and soft focus, like flipping through an old photo album you didn't realize still made you feel things. There's longing here, but it's not heavy. It's gentle, like, what if you could go back, but lets you answer with a sigh instead of a breakdown. Trail vibe, foggy morning hike, dew on everything, memories sneaking up behind you in the mist. And number 3, God Needs the Devil by Jonah Kagan. This one hits different. Folk tinged and lyrically bold, it plays with duality, light and dark, good and bad, faith and doubt. Jonah's voice carries this raw honesty that feels both wounded and wise, like someone who's seen some shit and come out with poetry instead of baggage. God Needs the Devil isn't trying to solve anything. It's just sitting with the contradictions. And sometimes that's the most honest thing you can do. Trail vibe. Midway through a tough climb, you're questioning everything, including why you started, but you keep going anyway. This trio is about movement, not just through landscapes, but through moods. It's soft and searching, shadowy in parts, but always with a glow on the horizon. For the kind of trail where the views are great, but the real change is happening inside you. The end.
Thanks, Em.
You're
That was a
welcome.
great trail mix.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Ready for trail etiquette and other shit?
I am indeedy.
All right, we're going to talk about finding the right boots for the hikes that you want to go on.
What?
We're trying to find the right boot for your hiking needs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I went on that trip last year and I needed a new pair of shoes. And I didn't want to get big, heavy hiking boots because they're hot and sweaty and big and glunky. Um,
Clunk.
and glunky. And so I didn't know what I wanted to get. And then I came across trail runners, which I've never worn before. I've heard of, but I've never worn them. And so I was like, I'm going to try that. And now I'm obsessed. They're the only ones that I like to wear.
What are trail runners?
They're like they have like a heavier tread.
Uh-huh.
So they're more grippy
Okay.
on a trail, but they are like a sneaker.
Okay.
So they're comfy. They don't have a lot of ankle support, but for the type of hiking I do, I don't need a ton. Like if you're gonna be like doing like a through hike, you might want something a little bit more supportive, or if it's colder, or if it's gonna be like the weather, like wet weather, you might want to do something different. But for what I was doing, trail runners were my go-to. So we're going to find out what your go-to is. You
Can't wait.
ready?
Yes.
All right. Good footwear is the most important gear for any hiker. Unlike other equipment, hiking boots should be personally owned due to their unique fit after breaking in. When buying boots, consider these key tips. Shop in the evening when your feet are slightly swollen to ensure a better fit. Wear the socks you'll be using while hiking when trying on boots. Test the boots in store by walking around, especially on inclines, to check for comfort and support. Look for comfort, proper fit, heel security, room in the toe box, and good traction. Try on multiple pairs. Your own comfort is more reliable than sales advice. Break in your boots gradually with short hikes or everyday wear before a big trip. All right. So these are the types of hiking footwear. Type: trail runners. Light, sneaker light with better tread. Trail running, light hikes. Not for long hikes or heavy packs. Trail shoes. Low cut, stiffer, better tread than runners. Easy to moderate terrain. Versatile, more supportive than trail runners. Light hiking boot. Higher cut mix of leather and breathable fabric. Moderate to tough terrain, light snow. Heavy hiking boots. Stiff, durable, heavy. Tough climbs, 40 plus pound packs. Expensive, best for serious hikers. Long break in. Choose boots based on your hiking style, pack weight, and terrain. Comfort and fit should always come first. Out of those, which one do you think that you would be most comfortable in?
Which ones are yellow?
Oh, okay. Yellow?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I
I
want a
think
yellow
those,
hiking boot.
what is that one company, the Hoka or something like that? Hoka?
I think it's Hoka.
It's a Hoka. I've seen those. A lot of people wear those. They have a yellow pair. I
Okay.
saw one in yellow.
So that one.
Yeah.
I go by aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, they are
That's
ugly.
so
They
bad.
are very ugly,
Oh,
but they're
and I
yellow.
don't like the.
No.
Okay. I'm
I
gonna look
like
up
the
yellow hiking boots.
Brooks are my favorite.
Which ones?
Brooks,
Okay.
because I have a wide foot. My foot's wide in the toe, like the toe box. I need a wider toe box, and I get the regular gym sneakers from them, and they've always been the most comfortable. They have like a good arch support, which I also need because I've gotten shin splints in the past from not having proper arch support. Not fun.
I like these a lot.
What are those?
Barefoot Vindra Flex.
Oh, those are the ones with the toe thing, like little toes.
Yeah, but not really.
Yeah. Those little toe thing shoes that came out, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago now.
They're
Ugly
cute.
as hell. Those ones are cute. Yeah. What are they called?
Vindra Flex.
And those look like a light hiking boot. Higher cut mix of leather and breathable fabric.
Yeah, it says thin soles. Experience a real barefoot feeling and natural connection thanks to the ultra thin soles. Natural comfort provides support and forms the basis for an upright posture and prevents knee, hip, and back pain. Wide toe box. The wide toe box provides your toes the space they need, allows them to relax in their natural position, and flexible and waterproof.
Oh, okay. I worry about the thin, um, what did they say? It was thin, the bottom part.
Yeah, but it's recommended by orthopedists.
Oh, okay.
Optimal comfort all day long. Breathable material, natural gait, stimulate blood circulation, wide toe box, multifunctional.
All right. Well, I hope you guys all find the right shoes to wear on your next adventure. I think it's really important. But I have heard that some people hike in sandals.
Yes.
That seems,
Or toe socks.
yeah,
Those toe.
that seems insane.
Yeah, that doesn't seem smart.
That does not seem smart. What if you have to run away from a bear and you don't have a pot and a
Or what if the
spoon?
strap breaks?
Yeah. Well, I mean, any shoe could break, I guess, but straps are
Less
more
likely.
like, yeah. It just seems unnecessary and a little insane.
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit. I mean, at least if you're gonna do sandal, you should wear a Teva. I mean, you're not wearing flip flops, obviously. That would be ridiculous. But
I bet some people have.
I bet you're right. People are crazy.
And then they're like, "Ow, I sprained an ankle. Why?"
You could sprain an ankle in a sneaker.
But they are more likely.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Alright, well,
Anyway,
anyway, final
final
thoughts?
thoughts? Final thoughts are listen to your partner when they tell you that they don't trust somebody
Yes.
because that woman had her intuition and gut feeling that that was not a good person.
Well, I was also thinking, join a cult, you know?
Sure, but maybe not one that has suicide pacts
Oh,
written
okay,
into
okay.
the contract.
Only join cults that don't have suicide pacts drawn into the
Contract.
contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that would have been a red flag from the get-go. Like, why are there two people here? One Argentinian, one Japanese. Why is the Japanese woman not speaking?
Yeah.
Are you
Well, it
controlling?
sounds like neither of the women were speaking, though. The other one for another reason.
Well, what was the reason? Because she
Well,
wasn't allowed.
no, because she thought they were creepy.
Oh, yeah, but I meant the Japanese woman. Was she not allowed to talk? Was that part of,
Maybe that's part of the cult. Um, uh,
maybe he was the controlling one.
but
Maybe he was the leader. Who knows? We don't know. He could have been.
he could have been, yeah, he could have been out there recruiting.
And they were waiting for them in the bushes.
That's
That's
so
creepy.
creepy.
That's so creepy.
Don't wait for me in the bushes. If you want to try to get me into your cult, that's not the way to do it. I don't know what the right way is.
That was like my dad when my mom and dad met when hiking.
No, yeah.
He tried to convert her to his cult.
Yeah. What's his cult?
Flowers.
Awesomeness.
Flowers.
Invasive bugs
Yeah.
and species,
Yeah.
plant species.
Yeah. Oh my god, Karina was talking at work about the chestnut blight.
Oh, what's
Uh
a chestnut blight?
um the invasive it's a disease, a tree disease that's killing all of the chestnut trees in the area.
Uh,
Um, and she says the only place in the US that there's like one little place in the Midwest that hasn't been touched by it, but almost every other place has been touched by it.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Mm.
Poor chestnut trees.
Yeah.
It's the chestnut plate. Everyone should, look into the chestnut plate because it's a real bad thing.
Yeah. And also hemlock woolly adelgin. And also introduced species that come in on pallets.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's been happening for decades.
Yeah, but it needs to not.
How do you stop something like that?
That's what my dad was doing. He made it so that there was a lot more regulations
Oh,
in
okay.
terms of bringing stuff in from the country, other places.
I feel like you just wouldn't know if it's even there until after it's too late. Like if a bug gets in a crate of, I don't know, pineapples or whatever, how would you even know it's there? You inspect every pineapple. What if it just falls out and it's already on our land? You know what I mean? I mean, regulations are good. I just feel like there's still room for the buggies to hitch a ride into the area in order to invade and kill all our ladybugs.
So instead of like wooden pallets, which carry like Asian longhorn beetles, emerald ash borers, which my dad worked with a lot, termites, wood borers, fungi, mold spores. So one of his things was that he made it so that places shipping into the US
Yeah.
and out of the US, the pallets had to be heat treated.
Oh, so the bugs are in the pallets, not just crawling around the fruit.
Yeah, most of the time they're in the pallets themselves.
Oh,
So
that makes a lot more sense.
the wood had to be heated for at least 30 minutes to kill them or fumigated, but that wasn't what he was focused on because that also causes issues with environmental.
Oh, yeah. Poisons, yeah.
And they have to be marked with this certain stamp called an ISPM stamp, showing that the treatment was actually completed.
Huh.
Or switch to alternative methods altogether, like plastic pallets or composite material pallets instead of the wood. And yes, they're more expensive, but they don't harbor the pests and they're longer lasting.
That's true.
And then also like inspection and quarantine zones. So now a lot of the countries have to inspect the incoming pallets and packaging materials And some ports have strict quarantine zones for suspect materials, especially in like Australia and New Zealand. That's really prevalent.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. Anyway.
Okay.
Any other final thoughts, or should we just we have our link in our show notes?
And we have Patreon, which you can still come and check us out over there.
Yep. We have our merch store,
which we still have some merch coming your way, new stuff still in the developing process, but hopefully we should see those in the next few weeks.
New merch
Yay.
coming your way.
Yay.
To a mailbox near you.
Only if you
Hopefully
pay for
yours. And not your neighbors.
Yeah. And I think that's it from us crazy people here at Fall Summit.
Where every mountain is just one more almost there. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. Keyword emphasis on the and, not or. If you didn't enjoy it, maybe that's your epic fail for the week.
For the whole week. Ha ha.
You're one. You only have one epic fail per week.
Yeah, and that's it. Just not, just don't do it. Don't fail.
Okay. If you've got any questions, stories, or trail fails of your own, hit us up. Email us at fallsummit.pod@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at fallsummit.pod. We'll be back next week with more tales of misadventures and questionable decisions. Until then, happy trails.
And don't fall off a cliff.
See you out there.